And carrying on, next door but one, at number 91, could be 93 Maria Hilferstrasse, is almost coincidentally probably my favourite bookshop in the world, where you can buy, actually that's not even a book, you think a booklet for 169 euros? No, that's not a book, that's a holiday. Holiday for two. 2 nights for 2 people, including breakfast, in your choice of 130 hotels. So that's quite a nice present for someone. Anyway, what do we got here? This is my favourite floor, the top floor, the esoteric section, the spirituality section, tarot, and using illness as a symbol. Free yourself cosmically. Shamanism, animals, nature, life help. What do we got here? The greatest self-help book in the world is the one written by you. What's that? Is it blank? No. Oh, I'd say it's kind of. Oh, nice. It's a kind of CBT type thing. The 6-minute-a-day book. 5 questions to ask yourself each day. All kinds of lovely things. Happy brain, happy you. Authors from A to Z. Oliver Sacks. I love this one. The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. Great book. Great book. It's just behind the story. Factfulness. How we learn to see the world for what it really is. There isn't a single book in here that I wouldn't love to just pick up and just read. Well, not Nick, but in fact they've got seats there, you don't even have to buy them. Every dictionary you can imagine, every school book. What do we got here? God's Formula. Let's see if they've got my favourite book. My favourite book on physics, for instance. Richard Feynman. Yeah, there we go. Surely you're joking, Mr. Feynman. Now that, whether you're particularly interested in physics or not, he worked on the Manhattan Project with Oppenheim, subject to the big film of the week. Surely you're joking, Mr. Feynman. He was probably the most loved physicist in the 20th century, probably even more than Albert Einstein in terms of just his sense of fun. And Einstein certainly had a sense of fun. There we go. Who would not want to spend the whole afternoon just in one of these? Self-management. Dark rhetoric. How to be successful, fresh in your head, of course. Robert Kiyosaki, he gets everywhere. The 1% method. Empty your mind. The universal knowledge of Kung Fu. Be like water, my friend. Actually, seriously, somebody reminded me the other day. Be like water, my friend. That's somebody, the first time he ever met me, he couldn't stand me. And now years later, he said that. It just shows first impressions don't necessarily last. Truth. My favourite counting book. This is that whole section up there for books. A whole book on asparagus, soups, Japanese whiskey. Do you know anything about Japanese whiskey? I didn't. Probably my favourite book in the whole shop. Atlas Major, the greatest and finest atlas ever published. This is obviously a reprint. I don't think it's the first edition. 1665. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? Who's this? Oh, Annie Leibovitz. Yeah, she's interesting. I Love You, Mario Testino, of course. Probably took the most loved photograph of Diana. And a lot of other women. Oh, and them. rather lovely photo, actually. Helmut Newton. Yeah, he got around a bit, and don't think that's suitable viewing. Arnold, a whole book about Arnold Schwarzenegger, aus Graz, in his younger days. Oh, all in his younger days. Raphael, the complete works. Wow, that. See why I like this shop? Atlas of Human Anatomy and Surgery. But this is quite fun. The Computer. You may have seen this before. This one. I loved it when computers looked like that. You may have seen my post from my video from Bletchley Park recently. And the beginnings, how they used to look in the 60s. Well, that's more like 50s. I love films like The Italian Job, where they still had the IBM 729 in operation at the end of the 60s. These mainframes that would cost unimaginable amounts of money, but were paid for by governments during the Cold War. That was how you stored stuff in the 1950s. The IBM 1130. Introduced in 1965, the binary 16-bit machine was IBM's least expensive computer. The standard installation included a 1 megabyte disk drive for the operating system, the compilers, and object programs. So you used to have to write programs. I remember that one. Well, I remember seeing the Guinness Book of Records anyway, which was probably about as powerful as the Game Boy that came out in '89. Or compare it to that of 1642. Yeah. Cabinet of Curiosities. And expanding universe, views from the Hubble telescope. And here you've got Cézanne, Haring, Salvador Dali, one of my favourites. Rockwell, I didn't know he was an artist. I just thought he was the son of Diana Ross and Berry Gordy. He had a one-hit wonder in the 1980s. Somebody's Watching Me. Max Ernst, Richter, Hieronymus Bosch. I mean, just an extraordinary 15th century painter. He painted the Garden of Earthly Delights, which is basically a view of heaven and hell and the Garden of Eden, or so it appears to be. Of course, all we have, wine, bugger, in shrink wrap, so they look familiar. Curly and Willi Schlurg. Oh, it's not the hairy bikers, it's the Austrian bikers, Curly and Willi Schlurgel. In no way whatsoever have they ripped off the hairy bikers. Simply Wine. Be more interested in that than Simply Red. Nice. Basically, it's all Christmas sewn up. Oh, not just sofas here. You've got a cafe where you can just sit and read anything without necessarily buying it. Mini chess, wooden roulette, memory chess game. I have pirate memory games. Projects for the kitchen and the bathroom. 99 times gin. I haven't got time to go down to the basement. I actually need to go and meet some people now. But yeah, my first meeting got delayed. That's the way you come for your cards. Excellent. Lovely. King of the Day. Not necessarily Charles every day then. Mit Musik. Excellent. Right. Games, cakes, nice. Tasteful. Yeah. Good. Lunar cards. If you know Looney, give them a Lunar card. I know somebody that has done like that. Psychiatric help, just 5 cents. The doctor is in. But I love peanuts. Still fashionable in Austria. What about CND pasta? And why not? Still get all of it. Edgar Allan Poe, the death in the Morgue Street. In the... Oh, he's a cheery chap, wasn't he? Anyway. Maxi pool ring. Back out onto the muddy Hilferstrasse I go. And yeah, while I'm here, just one last look at that building. Because you know what, the whole year I lived in Vienna, I meant to come here. I mean, well, I did. I came to the muddy Hilferstrasse many times. But I never got round to looking up where he lived in the 1930s until my last week in Vienna. After 10 months, I found out, because the details are still in the Rathaus, the town hall, that he lived near the Stadtpark, actually just next to the Hilton, where I spent a weekend at a conference last month, you may recall. So yeah, he lived there, but he also lived here, the Marienhofstrasse. Okay, when I said about 30 metres, maybe more like 100 metres away, and when I said it was probably 91 or 93, it was 97. There we go, I didn't notice the distance. So I'm too busy talking to you, or somebody on the phone. Anyway. That is the building where my grandfather lived in the 30s. It looks terribly grand now, but the story is, and you never quite know if it's legend, that he went to London with £5 in his pocket. Mind you, £5 was a lot of money. It's now the home of Barbara Mucher Media. And next door you've got a whopping great McDonald's. That wasn't there in 1938, I can tell you. And that's me, Muddy Hilferstrasse. They get around a bit. Hofer. So, half a mile behind me is an Aldi, known as Hofer here. And there's another one, but it's a mini one. Just tucked in between a clothes shop. I mean, it's a really dinky one. But yeah, that is the building. I was been here in the 30s, and I lived in Cologne in the 90s. This was my favourite fast food outlet, Nordsee. Reasonably good, actually quite seriously good fish. Done fast food style. So don't go to McDonald's, don't go to Burger King, don't go to KFC. I mean, they're all what you'd expect. Nordsee. Don't get it in the UK. Lindrach, Swiss chocolate. So not just a chocolate shop, but Swiss chocolate done in a Viennese style. Limited edition. Nice. Little sheets of it. Yum, yum, yum. Very, very nice.